So again, welcome to Triple B this morning. 45-minute practice. 2 sets of dumbbells if you have them, a 5-pound, a 3-pound. And start in downward facing dog. As you find your yoga mat and you find this first position, pedal out the feet a little bit. Open things with some stretch and stabilization throughout the body. Nice active way to settle in for practice and for movement. Take 3 more deep breaths in downward facing dog. And then lower the knees down to the mat. And do cat and cow. Taking cat-cow at a bit of a quicker pace this week. Feeding into that need for a little bit of internal warmth in the body during these colder temperature times. Got a couple of fun circuits planned for us, as well as good old resistance work with the dumbbells. All right, let's sit back in child's pose, knees apart, big toes together. Reach your arms out in front of you. Come to the fingertips. Lift your forearms, elbows, upper arm bones high. Really good stretch. And then walk the hands back towards the legs and lift your torso so that you're sitting back on your heels. If it works for you, stay butt on the heels. If needed for knees or ankles, come up to a kneeling position and just place the hands palms down along the thighs. Turn your gaze to the knees or close the eyes. Take a minute to notice how the body came to practice this morning, how the mind stepped in. Anything you're looking to enhance upon, to change for this day, let that be your intention to carry you forward. As you're ready to move on, interlace the fingers, flip the palms, lift the arms up to the sky. Do a little twist in one direction. Good, and a twist to the second direction. As you come back to the center, crawl out towards all fours and step the right foot forward into your low lunge. Have the hands to the inside so you've got a little bit more space, and pick up the back knee. Shift forward and back here. Straighten the front leg as you do so. And then stay with the knee bend. Heel toe the right foot all the way out to the side of your mat. Turn the right toes so they're hanging off of the mat. Make sure the knee, the hip follow that same turned out line, and lower the left knee down. Imagine squeezing the front heel and the back knee actually in towards each other so there's a lot of muscular control and hug. Take the right hand to the right thigh and look over your top shoulder. The base of this practice comes with a lot of hip mobility and ask. So we're starting with a little bit of stretch here. Lift the back knee off of the floor, bring it back into the center, and step backwards to downward facing dog. And we'll take that on the second side. Swing the left foot forward, both hands to the inside to start with. Lift up the back knee and shift forward and back. Keep the knee bent. Heel toe the foot out to the side. Turn the toes out, knee, hip. All about 30 degrees. Lower the back knee and squeeze back knee, front heel towards each other and into the midline of the mat. Left hand to the left thigh, look over the left shoulder. Okay, we go all the way back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your feet. Stand up, brush the hands to the sky. This gets us right into our triple B sun salutations. Fold back down. Walk the hands out. Twisted down dog, right hand towards the left ankle. Give it maybe a breath. Set it down. Left hand towards the right ankle. Set it down. Come forward to plank. Cross body mountain climbers. Right knee towards the left elbow and vice versa. Go side to side. About 8 here. Step the feet all the way forward. Stand up. Body weight squats. Do 8. Try to go pretty low today. Push the weight back into the heels for these body weight squats. As you stand up, push the hips forward, tuck the tailbone a bit. Hands back down to the mat. Plank pose. Hold your plank today. Add in 1 push-up now, just 1. Down and up. Downward dog. Walk the hands backwards to the feet. We're going to do it all just 1 more time. Stand up, sweep the arms high. And then exhale, sweep back down low. Out to down dog. Twisted down dog. Tap the right hand to left leg and left hand to right leg. Come forward to plank. Add in the mountain climbers just right into the center instead of crossed now. Straight ahead. Step the feet to the hands, stand up. Body weight squats. Let these repetitive motions work you into a nice flow as we pick up the heart rate a little bit. Set the hands back down to the mat. Plank pose. Stabilize. Looking good there. Add the 1 push-up. Or don't. Always the option. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands backwards to the feet. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Stay upright here, reach, reach, reach. Hold on to your right wrist, lean to the left. Good, come across the center, hold on to the second wrist, up and over. And back to the middle. Arms go down, shake it all out. Great time to grab that sip of water if you need it. We're going to move into a 5-minute circuit, about 50 seconds. I'm not specifically counting, but I've got a pretty good counter in my head by now. About 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off for 5 exercises. You can do this anywhere on your mat. Let's go right into it. High knees to get us going. Option here is butt kicks instead of high knees, or kind of go in between the two. If you get tired of one, give yourself an extra breath with it and then switch. Make sure, of course, your weights are well out of your way. High knees tends to travel you a little bit all over the mat without noticing. Keep going here. We're going to get that heart rate going right away. Stay with it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just walk it out for 10. From the back of your mat, step and kick. Step and kick all the way up to the front end of the mat, and then try to do it backwards. Walking backwards with a step with any of these mobility exercises, nice way to really emphasize balance, that mind-body connection. So walk forward and back. Take one more walk up towards the front of the mat. Once you get to the front of your mat, stay right there. Shake out the legs for 10 seconds. Again, using the length of our mat to walk down and back. Join me when you're ready. You're doing a gatekeeper with the same leg all the way to get you to one end of the mat. And then gatekeeper is to get you back to the top end on the second leg. Great. Back and forth. Next time you're at the back end of your mat, stay right there, but I know you won't quite be even on that second leg, so just do a couple in place on the second leg. Stay at the back end, and again, shake out the legs a little bit. Place the elbows onto your knees. Test out how the hips are doing here. This motion can definitely be done from this half lift. If possible, this is gorilla squat. Imagine you are a gorilla and you've got to get down nice and low. And you're traveling on your hands and your feet up to the front of the mat. And then going backwards to the back of the mat. Again, hips higher can make this more doable, especially if there's anything aching in knees or hips. Give yourself that compassion to stay higher. Do try to really transfer the weight through hands and feet. It's not just hands, not just feet taking the weight. Next time you get to the back of the mat, let yourself stand up nice and slow. I've been doing these gorilla squats all week. I really do feel it, so it is okay to be a little bit higher. Don't beat yourself up here. We've got one more. The heels can come off of the ground. It doesn't need to be as flat of a foot as when we take our yogi squat. We're going lateral now. This is the last one. Lateral side to side, just like we did in those gatekeepers. Now we're low. Work with your breath, amazing. Ooh, they ask that this one picks up. Core, abdominals really getting involved to help you share the work. One more travel on your mat. Do this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand up. Shake it out. It's something, right? We're going to get into the first round with the weights. You can watch first. Everything is going to be a combo exercise so that we get a little bit of work in the upper body as well as the lower body. Watch me here first. I'm holding my 5-pound weights just straight down by the side like candlesticks. 2 curls, hammer curls. 2 curls come up, and you're going to squat down low for 3, 2, 1, and explode up. 1, 3, 2, 1, and explode up. All right? So we go back and forth like that for a set of 10. I'm going to catch my breath, breathe a little bit. Let's begin. Curl 1, curl 2. It's that slow, slow, slow. Stand up. Slow squat. 2, 3. Stand up. Go back to the curl for 1, 2. Slow squat. Third set. Nice explosion to stand each time in that squat. No rush here. We're on 5 of 10 now. Keep the chest lifted. Look somewhere ahead of you where you can't gaze down at your feet. Nice strong exhale as you stand each time. Back to the curls for number 7. And 8. Of course, you don't have to stay right with me. Find your own pace that works. I'm trying to make sure I'm counting the whole way. This one's 9. Always count for yourself. Sometimes I might make us do a couple extra or not quite enough as I get chit-chatting. This is the last one. Whew. Nice exhale as you explode up. Set down the weights for a moment. Today there's 3 different combo weight sets. We're going to go through all 3 before we come back up to the top. Second one, I'm going to recommend your lighter set of weights. I'm using 3 pounds. If you've got something going on with the shoulders, you might be able to do this movement, but with no weights in your hand. It's swimmers in and out, and then a curtsy squat each direction. We've got 8 of these. Go ahead and join me as you're ready. As you lift for that swimmer, think shoulder height. Don't be deceived into picking up something too heavy for you. The repetitions do the work. These muscles don't need a whole lot of heavy weight. Curtsy squat, similar, but stepping a foot back each time. Remember, this is just a count of 8. I've done 3 here now. Good. And into 4. I love seeing y'all find your alternatives when a particular exercise doesn't work out. Always best to listen in nice and solid to your body and follow its cues. You should be that first teacher. I'm just a guide. One more set here. Curtsy squat side to side. Set down the weights after the end of your 8th round and give yourself a little break. I'm going to give you 2 options for this last weighted set. The first one is an RDL. If you'd like to keep both feet on the ground, this is the more doable variation. You've got 1 foot back, both knees bent, that little bit of a runner stance, and coming forward in the torso. Leg can stay down the whole time. Each time you come into that lower point of the RDL, this is what it looks like with the lifted leg. You're going to take 1 row and then 2 rows and come back up. We'll stay on the same leg. It should make the balance and control a little bit more doable. 5 on the first leg, 5 on the second leg. We'll do this whole thing again. Feel free to try the first set with the foot down instead of up or vice versa. All right, first leg back. I've got my right leg back, left leg forward. You go towards your lower point in the RDL with dumbbells about mid-shin and 2 rows. The option there, stand back up in between, is of course, don't do the row and just hold. And we're going slow and steady. There's no race in this. Nice bend in the standing knee makes you work outer glute, hip stabilization. Something I commonly see in this RDL, Russian deadlift, is letting your torso go down too far. No lower than shoulders to line of hips, hands on either side of mid-shin. Okay, 5 on 1 leg. And although we're combining the movements, see them as separate. So here on the second side, you go towards your low point in the RDL and then shift to the row. Getting those triceps nice and toned. Soften across the shoulders. Don't let the shoulders eke up into your ears. We're looking for this movement to create some release from tension and stress in the daily life. Don't add it in. Relax those shoulders. After 5 on each side, set down the weights. Shake it out. That's the full set. We're gonna go through the whole thing one more time. I know those shoulder swims are a lot. If you're looking to change that up for the second time, if it works, it's not a whole lot different, but you could do shoulder raises straight to the front. Another option instead is shoulder shrugs. Okay? But we go back to those hammer curls with the good old squat first. We'll go right into it. 2 curls. Slow squat down, big rise up. Slow squat down, big rise up. For 2 curls. 3, 2, 1, lift. 3, 2, 1, lift. Nice, keep it going. For 3. Keep the core toned, abdominals nice and strong the whole time. I think I'm on the round 6 here in the 10 round set. This is when chest starts to get a little tired and carry you forward and down. Still stay upright. You can always take the base of the feet a little bit wider. That's it. All right, 2 more curls, 2 more squats. Set the weights down for a moment. I'm going to the lighter set for the shoulder raise or swim, and then getting right into it. Remember, this is just 8 here with a curtsy squat. Curtsy squat. Also getting into that good strength and stabilization for outer hip. So if that beginning circuit, test mobility in the hips, we add the weights to test the strength. Four more like this. And 3. Looking good, friends. Keep it going just a little bit longer. It's always these last few that I'm like, yep, glad I picked up that 3-pound set. Set it down for a moment. Moving into the RDL with the tricep kickback. 5 on each leg. Choose your weights based on how it felt the first time around. And before you get going, set an intention. Are you looking more to keep the back leg raised and find your edge in that? Or do you want the stabilization so that you can really concentrate on the work? They both are going to do the same for you. It's just at a different level. So I'm taking that modification this time. I know quite full and well. It's what my body needs right now. And in making that choice, I'll be stronger for it. 5 on each leg with the 2 tricep rows in between. I think I said kick back a little bit earlier. It's just the row, of course. I can feel that good steady burn even with the back leg down. Second side, 5 here. I think squeeze tips of the shoulder blades together as you go into the row so it's not too high in the shoulders. Trying not to pinch the rhomboids. Keep the breath steady. Always finding that little exhale push on the harder end when you're coming up against gravity usually. 5 and 5. You'll set the weights down and plenty out of your way because you're done using them. Shake everything out a little bit. Stand at the back end of the mat. Inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, and walk yourself out to high plank. From high plank, walk yourself down to forearm plank. I'm going to move us right into our latter half circuit. It's hip dips from side to side. Go for it. Hips go right, left, like your little corkscrew here. Twisting, twisting, twisting. Of course, holding forearm plank. This is a nice place to be as well. One way to do a hip dip, but a little bit more ease and responsiveness, is from the knees and still giving yourself a shift in the hips, highlighting those obliques. Keep going wherever you are. You've got this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lie flat down onto the belly. Reach your arms out in front of you. Superhero lifts. We lift and lower. Lift and lower. Hands can go back instead of forward. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. A few more like this. Push back to child's pose. And change to downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Step your right foot to the outside of the right hand, and then it swings right back. So we're getting back into that hip mobility, keeping strength in the core. Left foot steps around and back. Just side to side here, right and back, left and back. About 10 more seconds here. Try to get in one more step, each side, each foot. Rest the knees down, get off of your hands, rest back on your heels. Roll the shoulders up and back a couple of times. And forward and down. Stand all the way up at the back end of the mat. Here we've got those gatekeeper, but we're staying instead of full lateral so that we're facing that short side of the mat as you walk forward and then walk back. Walk all the way forward again. I'm doing about 5 leg swings to make it the length of the mat. Once you get to the back end of your mat, come face the long edge, turn the toes out. Sit down into your goddess squat. Find your lower end, hands however you want them. I'm just giving myself a little intention and prayer as I stay low in that pulse. We've almost made it to the end, my friends. Looking strong, looking good. Stay with it. Try to lean more backwards rather than letting yourself be taken forward. We're almost out of this one. And you are done. Straighten the legs, turn the toes parallel to one another. Wide-legged forward fold, touch down. Have a seat all the way down to your mat. Stretch your legs straight out in front of you. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh in a figure 4 seat. Fold over. Come upright, extend the right leg out. Do the same on the second side. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Fold over. As we start to cool down and stretch a little bit, I'm going to add just 2 more minutes of a quick ab burst before letting us go. Lie all the way down onto your back. As you lie down onto your back, that same figure 4, right ankle over the left knee, knee out to the side. And we're adding a bridge to this. Lift the hips up, lower down. I recommend creating bookends with your hands, so bend at the elbows and press those upper arm bones down into the ground. Hands kind of bookending around the belly as you lift. One more like this, and then keep the legs as is. Right hand out to your side, left hand behind your head. Crunch left elbow towards the right knee. Keep the head lifted now, Shoulders lifted, just that top end of the crunch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set the right foot down, cross the left ankle over right knee, point the knee out to the side. Bookends with your hands, upper arm bones into the ground. You've got bridge pose here, lift and lower. It's a slow pulse, a count of 1 or 2 up and down. Great, strengthening the back side of the body as you get that bonus stretch through hip flexor, inner thigh. Okay, keep butt down, left arm out to the side, right hand behind your head. And we crunch elbow to knee. Make sure the hand is not dragging your head. At first here, we're in that fuller range, so you are setting down head and shoulders each time. And then keep head and shoulders lifted more towards the top end of your crunch. Little pulses here. Try to keep that left shoulder on the mat the whole time. You're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything lowers down. Stretch it out. Arms overhead, legs long. Hug your knees into the chest and a really strong squeeze in. Really pull the knees in. Try to give some release in the hip flexors. We asked plenty of them today, so a little hug there. Come up to a seated position, or I'm gonna come up to kneeling to have a little more ease with the arms, and give yourself a big hug. Not only to say thank you, but also a little stretch in those shoulders and side body. Change to the opposite, hand on top and twist. All right, thank you all so much for coming for Triple B again this week. I look forward to seeing you soon.